Welcome to Donmar TV News Channel.
Now, talking about hard decisions, every politician or every leader has what we call turning point or pivotal moment in their political careers. What do you think is your defining moment as a mayor?
Yes, ang defining moment ko is not a positive experience for me, no? Because every day I still cringe when I remember that event, and then hanggang ngayon nandiyan pa rin yung embarrassment, and nafe-feel ko yung hiya doon sa humiliation that na nangyari sa akin, sa sheriff, sa judge, and sa Davao City at that time. So yung the incident with the sheriff noong July 1, 2011.
So yun yung defining moment mo as a politician. Why do you consider it as your defining moment?
Because doon ko natutunan yung never lose your self sa mga bagay na kailangan mong gawin. Kasi sa incident na yon, ang natalo is ako, yung judge, yung sheriff, yung Davao City, because it was played out publicly, and parang feeling ko napahiya lahat, ganyan. So dapat doon ko na realize na in my work you should be always in control of your emotions, na hindi mo siya dapat ilapat doon sa trabaho na kailangan mong gawin.
Napaka-ano nito ha, this is quite revelatory kasi parang for a lot of people, that is something that they like about you, yung narapak ka ng sheriff. But for you, you consider it like a learning experience.
Yes.
You feel ashamed about it, you still cringe about it. Pero how did it make you kasi a lot of politicians, when I ask this question, they always say about a decision that they have made na parang it led to some dramatic turn of events, etc. But for you, it's your interaction with that sheriff during the time. Diba demolition yung incident?
Yeah.
What was on your mind? Can you walk us through what was on your mind when that happened?
Actually, hindi ko na siya maalala. It took me a long time to watch yung video, yung news clips noon.
Okay.
And I think dahil nga siguro sa galit ko, nag-blackout ako. Nahimasmasan na lang ako when I was talking to him, and then nakikita ko na he was injured. So I had parang naisip ko na, ano ba nangyayari? Bakit nagkaganito kami? Parang ganyan. So I had to tell my staff to take him to the hospital kasi he was injured. So yun. That taught me na, and then after that, kasama ko yung mama ko. And then she was asking me, what happened to you? Sabi ko, hindi ko rin alam, mama, what happened. Kasi nga, it was not only the demolition incident, there was an incident before that is yung flooding, which killed 30 individuals. So parang nagpatong-patong siya lahat on that week for me and my work. And then, yun na nga, parang I lost it, and it was very embarrassing, and it should not happen again. Sabi ng mama ko that time, sabi niya, alam mo, not all people are like you. So, hindi ka naman nila maiintindihan kaagad. Kasi if you are fast, not all people are very fast. So, you have to make an effort to make them understand your work and what you need to do.
So parang nakikita ko dito, Mayor Sara, na you are not uncomfortable with dealing with your mistakes. Is this part of your personality na or your leadership style na you don't shy away from admitting mistakes?
Oo. I usually say sorry when it is appropriate to say sorry. So, wala akong problema in making mistakes because obviously, I am not a perfect leader.
Ayun na nga, I'm really quite shocked na yun talaga yung incident, yun talaga yung isasagot niya dito sa tanong na to. Kasi I was even thinking kung, should I ask about, Mayor Sarah punching a sheriff when you were still a vice mayor at that time, or mayor na po kayo?
Mayor na ako noon.
Mayor na.
My
Mayor na.
first term as mayor, yes.
So, parang, I was like expecting yung mga sinasabi ng mga Davaoense niya na, na you kind of straighten out the bureaucracy. Parang yun yung ina-expect ko na isasagot ninyo about your defining moment as a politician. And then suddenly, you mentioned this mistake. So it's like kind of unexpected. So, yeah, I'm quite shocked right now. Mag-recover pa ako.
Yun yung parang naisip ko na you shouldn't be that kind of a leader. Yun din ng learnings ko doon with what people advised me after that.
Okay, so compromise. Pumunta na ngayon tayo sa mga nitty-gritty ng decision making. Like for example, compromising, right? Every leader must know when she or he should compromise. What for you would be the factors that you would consider before you make a compromise and before you don't make a compromise, right? When do you become tough in your initial positions, and when do you soften up?
Okay, sige. For me, I firmly believe that a leader should not compromise.
Okay.
Because magiging inconsistent ka and then you will lose your way. Kasi all things are paulit-ulit lang naman yung mga bagay sa local governance eh. So hindi ka pwede mag-compromise on one, and in the same situation, iba na naman yung decision mo. So it has to be consistent. So when you compromise, nawawala yung consistency mo, nako-confuse ang mga tao, and nagiging inconsistent yung leadership mo. Pero if we are to talk na kailangan talaga mag-compromise, para sa akin, you can compromise when it is for the general welfare, and you should never compromise when it will cause injustice.
Okay. So meron ka talagang so there are just certain situations that you think that you may be able to compromise, right?
Yes, oo. Kung sabihin natin na kailangan talaga mag-compromise, yes, you can compromise for the general welfare if it will mean that it will be for the good of the majority.
Okay. So yun
However,
na kailangan.
Yes, oo. However, kung mag-compromise ka and then it will cause injustice, even to just one sector or one group, I do not think na dapat mag-compromise.
So for you value consistency.
Yes, for a leader, dapat consistent ka talaga. So that people will believe you. Otherwise, if you compromise for the same set of facts, you compromise on the other, and you do not compromise on the other situation, and then pareho lang din naman sila, sasabihin nila na hindi na impartial ang decision making mo. So sasabihin na ng mga tao na biased ka na meron ka ng favoritism, mga ganon. So dapat kasi consistent talaga. Nakikita ng mga tao na, like say for example, kaibigan, there's one thing na kaibigan mo yan or hindi mo kaibigan yan, the law should be applied the same to both. Ganon.
Because mayor kasi kayo ngayon, so I'm thinking na since your father is the president, and I think how that his job as a president, and I think you're already exposed to what he's doing. So what do you think is the difference between your being a mayor and being a president? Kasi your father compared tried to compare the two before. Nasabi niya na parang president is simply like a mayor of an entire country. Or do you see any difference between the two based on your experience as the presidential daughter na na-expose sa trabaho na ng daddy niyo? Is it harder to compromise when you are a president than being a mayor? Kasi nga, di ba, mas maliit yung constituency ninyo, or do you think it's easier?
Easier to be president? Definitely hindi. Siguro. No. Definitely not.
Kaya ka, di ba, ayaw patakbuhin yung tatay niyo? No?
Definitely not. Oo, hindi madali maging president. Kung sa trabaho naman, it's the same. It's an executive. So, you handle different offices. Mas malaki nga lang yung magnitude ng president because you handle offices, commissions, agencies, and dami instrumentalities of government, and they're all under you, particularly yung nasa executive department, no? And then you have to deal with the two other branches of government, the legislative and the justice, no? So, mas malaki yung magnitude ng trabaho ng president. And it needs lakas ng loob talaga.
Okay.
Habang ni-resolve mo yung technical difficulties mo, Sas, nakikita ko yung painting mo sa likod. Maganda siya. Yung
Ano na
painting mo.
siya? This is actually a poster.
Okay. And then pinaframe mo.
Oo. Di ba ang ganda nung ano siya si Frida Kahlo?
Oo.
Na naninigarilyo tapos may bigote, etc. Maganda siya. Mura lang yan. Mukhang mahal.
Painting.
Hindi siya painting. Ano lang talaga siya. Mura lang siya. Mukha lang talaga siyang mahal.
Very nice.
Oo. Ayan, let's go back to our conversation. Ayan, nagbalikan na uli ang ating mga manonood. Regarding lesson, the greatest lesson that you have learned about power during your years of leadership. What is it? What is the greatest lesson?
Yes, it is fleeting and temporary.
Hmm.
So, it's not forever. Ang power ng isang mayor is only good for yung term niya, which is usually 3 years. And then, you don't know if you will be elected for another term. So, it's very temporary. So, it's good to use the power for the greatest good that you can do for the city, which is security and development, or peace, or others call it peace and development.
So, ano yan, Mayor Sara? Given na you know na power is fleeting, na temporary lang siya, how do you handle power then? Ano ba kayo pang dahil lang temporary to, let's do everything that we can do na let's use it to the maximum level, or are you more like prudent in your use of power?
Well, sa akin, I want to maximize it in a good way.
Okay.
So, kasi ayoko rin naman na maalala ako, kasi nga temporary siya. Kung swerte ka, you have 9 years of uninterrupted 3-year terms, no? Pero kung hindi ka swerte, you only have 3 years, ayaw mo naman na maalala ka ng mga tao that you were a bad mayor. So, you really have to maximize it to do the greatest good that you can for the city, so that people will remember you for something good that happened in the city.
So, what do you think people should know about the responsibilities of a mayor na they don't know? And are there any misconceptions you think people have about mayors?
Yes, oo. Madami. Dito sa atin.
Wala ba ang panahon para sa
dito sa atin sa Pilipinas, actually, madaming misconceptions about mayors and governors, kasi parehong posisyon yun, no? Local chief executive. So, basically, kung ano yung nakikita ninyo sa local government code, nandyan yung what is a city about, what are the duties and responsibilities of a mayor. Ang dami-dami nun. Minsan nga, hindi mo na nagagawa lahat yan.
Okay.
Pero yan yun, dyan dapat umiikot-ikot yung trabaho mo and decision making mo. And then, misconception madami. Akala ng mga tao, the mayor is parang overruler of all things.
Okay.
So, kasi I get this all the time. Yung pag sinabi ni mayor, okay na yan. So, ganyan. I'm sure hindi lang yan dito sa Davao City. I'm sure it happens across the country.